How to make any woman miss you, even if she's not interested. Most men react. She pulls away, they chase. She shows disinterest, they try harder. And in doing so, they kill attraction before it ever had a chance to grow. Here's the truth. You can't force a woman to miss you, but you can make her feel your absence in a way that unsettles her. Not by doing more, but by doing less, strategically and with absolute control. This video is not about manipulation. It's about understanding female psychology, emotional detachment, and the power of Stoic indifference. Let's break it down. 1. She feels the emotional silence before the physical distance. Most men believe that going silent means cutting off contact. But the real silence women feel isn't in the absence of your messages or your calls. It's the absence of your emotional investment. She doesn't miss your texts. She misses your energy. And when that energy goes quiet, truly quiet, that's when she starts to notice your absence. Emotional silence isn't coldness. It's not you being passive-aggressive or pretending to move on. It's you being truly done internally. No resentment, no hope, just acceptance. You see, most men fake detachment. They try to act like they don't care while still checking her stories, posting things to get her attention, or holding out hope for a message. Women sense this. They know when you're pretending. But when your emotions detach completely, that shift is impossible to ignore. She doesn't get the random check-in. She doesn't feel that subtle pull. The energy she used to feed off of is gone, and it leaves a void. That void makes her wonder, why did he stop caring? It makes her reflect, revisit old memories, scroll through your posts, reread your texts, and replay the things you said. Not because you asked her to, but because now she's the one feeling uncertain. You become a psychological mystery. Someone she once had complete access to is now emotionally out of reach. She doesn't know what you're thinking, how you're feeling, or if she even matters anymore. And here's the beauty of Stoic silence. It doesn't chase, it doesn't punish, it simply vanishes. This is the first trigger that makes her miss you. When you no longer emotionally depend on her, and she feels it deeply, not in her ego, but in her nervous system. That silence becomes deafening. The goal isn't to play games, it's to reclaim your energy, to center yourself, to stop trying to make someone value you and instead start valuing your own peace. Once she senses that shift, that you're no longer watching, waiting, or caring, that's when she starts missing what she thought she had control over. Because no woman misses a man who is still emotionally accessible. She misses the one who pulled his energy without a sound. 2. You're no longer seeking her attention. There's something incredibly powerful about becoming a man who no longer orbits around a woman's presence. Most men claim they've moved on, but every move they make still revolves around her. They post stories to be seen. They go to the gym to be noticed. They chase success, hoping it will somehow make her look back. That's not growth. That's disguised validation seeking. But when you truly stop seeking her attention, when your focus becomes so locked in on your mission that she no longer crosses your mind throughout the day, that's when the shift happens. She begins to feel replaced, not by another woman, but by something bigger, purpose. She thought she was the center of your universe, that even if things ended, a part of you would always revolve around her, that maybe you'd move on, but slowly, that you'd still check in, still care. But now, your days are full, your mind is sharper, you're not watching her, you're not seeking her reaction, you're simply absent. And that absence isn't random, it's intentional. When she looks at your life, she expects to see the remnants of heartbreak. She expects to feel the weight of her absence in your energy. Instead, she sees discipline, routine, and clarity. And here's the hardest part for her ego to process. You look better now. Your skin is clearer. Your posture is stronger. Your aura is lighter. Not because you're trying to make her jealous, but because she was never your final destination. She was a chapter, not the book. This is the part most women don't expect. She thought she had more time, that she could always come back to a man who'd be emotionally waiting. But now that you've replaced her attention with progress, she's the one watching. And every day you stay silent, focused, and emotionally sovereign, her mind starts to spiral. She wonders who gets your attention now. She wonders if you ever think of her. She wonders if maybe, just maybe, she underestimated you. She did. And that's exactly why she misses you. 3. She expected you to linger. You didn't. There's a moment that hits her harder than the breakup. It's not when the messages stop. It's not when she sees you with someone new. It's when she realizes you didn't linger. Most men do. They stay emotionally tethered. They keep checking in. They wait for signs, signals, small windows to slip back into her world. Even if they don't reach out, their energy is still there, hovering. Women feel that. And that's why they're never in a rush to miss you, because they're still being emotionally fed by your presence. Even in silence, she feels you checking her stories. She feels you posting for attention. She feels your subtle online movements, hoping she sees you. But when you go truly dark, not as a strategy but as a shift, she notices. Not just because you're silent, but because you're still in your decisions, still in your direction, still in your absence. This is where the discomfort begins for her, because she had an assumption, one rooted in years of attention and emotional validation from men, that no matter what happens, the guy who cared would always be there. Maybe not in her life, but in the background, waiting, hoping, orbiting. But now you're gone. And this isn't a tantrum. It's not ghosting. It's not revenge. It's just absence. Real, grounded, peaceful absence. And the stillness scares her, because women expect reactions. They expect follow-ups. They expect men to make themselves available again when they snap their fingers. But when you don't show up, when you don't break the silence, she questions everything. Did he really mean what he said? Did he care as much as I thought? Is he done for good? And that mental loop becomes a prison, because she didn't prepare for this. She prepared for the emotional reassurance that would keep her in control. She expected a delayed message, a subtle breadcrumb, a random like on an old post. Anything to signal you were still hers, even just a little. But it never came. And now she's left with nothing but the echo of your absence. It hits hardest at night, not when she's out partying, not when she's surrounded by friends, but when she's alone, when the distractions fade, when the notifications slow down. She looks at her phone, nothing. She scrolls through the same threads, still nothing. And what used to be comforting, the idea that you'd always care, now feels cold. You've done something most men can't. You've walked away not because you're angry, but because you've accepted it. And that kind of acceptance is lethal to her ego, because she knows she didn't choose it. She didn't get to end things on her terms. You didn't beg. You didn't chase. You didn't need closure, you just stopped showing up. That's when missing you becomes real, because now she's not just remembering you, she's haunted by the reality that she doesn't get to access you anymore, not even emotionally. And no matter what she posts, no matter how unbothered she looks, she's watching, she's waiting, not for a message, but for a sign that you're still lingering. And when she doesn't find it, that's when she feels it. The loss, the weight of your silence, the power of your stillness. And it all started the moment you did what she never expected. You didn't linger. 4. She realizes you're no longer emotionally accessible. There's a type of man women always believe they can come back to, the emotionally loyal one, the man who made her feel safe even when she didn't choose him, the man who left the door open just in case. But when that emotional door closes, when she realizes it's no longer hers to walk through, that's when the regret sets in. Understand this. A woman only begins to truly miss a man when she can no longer access his emotional world. Not his body, not his words, not even his time. But the energy, the soul-level connection that once centered her. You see, most men don't know how to protect their emotional real estate. They guard their money. They guard their career. but they leave their emotions wide open to the same woman who walked away. They stay emotionally available even after the damage is done. They text back. They answer late night calls. They listen when she's sad. They offer comfort when she's lonely. And in doing that, they make themselves forgettable because she doesn't fear losing something she still has access to. But you're different now. You've pulled back that access, not with drama, not with coldness, but with quiet clarity. She messages you and you don't take the bait. She throws out a memory and you don't reach for it. She hints at something deeper, but you don't open the door. It's not rudeness, it's restraint, and it tells her something she never expected. You're no longer hers. Now she's spiraling, not because she wants you back, but because she's no longer in control. That's the real pain. She was used to owning space in your heart, and now that space is closed off, protected, guarded. She remembers the late night talks, the emotional vulnerability, the way you opened up only to her. And now? Now you're a fortress, emotionally grounded, unshakable. You've stopped being emotionally available to someone who treated your heart like a convenience store, always open, even when she didn't deserve it. And what she misses now isn't just the attention, it's the intimacy, the rare access to a man who doesn't open up easily. Because when that door shuts, she knows she won't find another like you. That emotional absence becomes the loudest presence in her life. She starts to feel the echo of your energy missing from her world. Not just someone who used to care, but someone who used to care deeply. And the thought that someone else might now get that version of you, it burns her. So don't fake detachment. Don't act like you're unavailable, be it. Not to punish her, but to honor yourself. And when you do, when she truly feels that loss of emotional access, that's when missing you becomes a storm she can't shake off. 5. She sees you're no longer affected by her. There's a specific type of power that every man must learn to master, the power of not reacting. Because here's what most women are used to. They pull away. They post something flirty. They go silent for a few days. And without fail, the guy reacts. He double texts. He tries to clarify. He tries to explain why he deserves a second chance. He gives her proof that she still matters. Proof that she still has control. But what happens when you don't flinch? What happens when you stop showing signs of emotional disturbance? When she pushes and you don't move? That's when it begins. That's when she feels the one thing she never expected from you. Freedom, not her freedom. Yours. She sees it in the way you carry yourself, in your tone, in your silence, in your lack of questions, in the fact that you're not asking her why. You're not trying to make her feel guilty. You're not accusing her. You're not decoding her behavior. You're simply unaffected. And that scares her, because most men still give off a scent of attachment. They pretend to be indifferent, but they post out of spite. They comment to be seen. They move on quickly, but check back quietly. She can feel all of that. But when you become truly unmoved, not cold, not bitter, just unattached, that's when her internal alarm goes off. Why? Because you've just removed her ability to influence your emotions. And women thrive on emotional power. They test, they pull away, they push buttons, not because they're evil, but because they want to feel what kind of hold they have over you. But now, her test failed. She played the game, and you didn't respond. That's when the mental questions start. Is he over me? Did he find peace that quickly? Was I never that important? She starts checking in silently. She watches your stories with more interest. She notices how you're not responding to hers. She stalks your feed, looking for signs of emotional cracks. And the fact that she can't find any is what makes the silence echo louder, because she remembers how deeply you once cared. She remembers how her words once affected you, and now it's like none of it touches you anymore. That's the real loss. Not the man you were, but the man you've become, calm, focused, and unreachable. Here's the truth. A man who can be emotionally influenced is a man still under her spell. But a man who is centered, who responds only to purpose, not provocation, he becomes a mystery, a question she can't answer, and that tension starts to build. So don't announce your detachment. Don't try to show her you've changed. Just change. Let her feel it in the void where your reactions used to live. Because when she realizes she no longer has access to your emotions, when her presence no longer shifts your mood, when her absence no longer creates chaos in your life, that's when she truly begins to miss you. Not the version she walked away from, but the version who's now far beyond her reach. 6. She feels the shift, but can't stop it. You haven't argued. You haven't complained. You haven't announced anything. But everything is different. Your energy is colder, not cruel, just unavailable. And that's what makes it powerful. Because women don't chase anger. They chase mystery. They chase confidence. They chase certainty in silence. You've given her nothing to hold on to. No closure, no drama, no weakness. Just presence, then absence. And that kind of exit haunts her. 7. You disappeared with peace, not pain. This is what separates boys from men. The boy storms out. The man simply walks away. No theatrics, no cryptic captions, just stillness. And that stillness is what echoes in her mind, because you're not hiding, you're not waiting. You've accepted the loss completely. And when she realizes you're not pretending, that you're genuinely free, that's when the regret begins. Not because she lost you, but because she never expected to. If you want a woman to miss you, stop trying to be missed. Detach with dignity. Disappear with purpose. Let her feel the weight of your absence without needing to explain it. Because the man who chases is forgettable, but the man who withdraws into power is unforgettable.